The star of the Lyrox system was dying. Once bright and warm, it had started turning cold. Strange waves pulsed from its core. Scientists on the planet Velmari, home of the Lyrox species, looked at their screens in fear. The sun was unstable, and time was running out. "We must send the SOS now," said Prime Speaker Varnal, leader of the Lyrox High Council. His green-blue skin was pale under the stress. "Who will hear us?" asked his assistant, a young scholar named Veltri. "Anyone," Varnal replied. "Any civilization close enough, even if they're strangers." They activated the ancient beacon, a powerful signal system from the old Alliance days. It sent one clear message in many languages: emergency, star collapse imminent, help needed. Coordinates attached. The signal jumped into the void, flying across stars and systems. But something strange happened. A space storm, a twisting cloud of gravity and light, caught the signal and pulled it off course. It passed through forgotten parts of the galaxy. It touched old satellites and dark regions no one visited anymore. And then, the signal reached Sector 9 Earth, a hidden region not on modern star charts. It reached a giant, silent object floating near a cold blue planet. The object looked like a warship, black, scarred, and asleep. But inside it, machines woke up. The ship was called Titanfall. On Earth, humanity had not spoken to the galaxy in over the centuries. They were once a young species, curious and eager. But when the great alien council refused to help them during the time of plagues, humans went silent. They built underground. They vanished from galactic maps. But they never stopped watching. Titanfall was one of Earth's secret projects. A ship so large it was called a planet scanner by the engineers who built it. It had not moved in years. Its dark shell could not be scanned. Its engines hummed with quiet power. The OS woke its core AI. "Command OS, signal received," said a calm voice inside the command bridge. "Analyzing source, Lyrox species. Non-hostile. Request, planetary aid." Deep inside the ship, lights flickered. Hatches opened. Reactors spun up. In her cabin, Captain Rhea Morgan opened her eyes. She was tall, sharp-eyed, and carried the weight of Earth's secrets on her shoulders. She walked to the bridge as the ship slowly came alive. "We haven't had a call in years," she said. "The Lyrox sun is dying," the AI replied. "They seek help. Location, 4 jumps away." Rhea looked at the old Earth flag stitched on her sleeve. "Prepare the Titanfall. Set course for Lyrox space." "Confirmed," said Commandos. "Deploying." The massive ship moved. Quiet at first, then faster than light. It passed through space lanes that others had forgotten. Stars blurred, time bent. Back in the Lyrox system, panic spread. The skies were dimmer. The sun's glow was weak. People whispered. The leaders waited, hoping someone heard their call. Then, their sensors picked up something huge entering their system. It's not from the council," said Veltri, staring at the data. "It's something else." On their screens, a dark shape appeared, long like a blade, with glowing red lines and a humming engine trail. A voice came through, simple and direct. "Signal received. This is Titanfall. Stand by." The Lyrox were stunned. "Titanfall?" asked Varnal. "That name sounds ancient." Veltri searched old files. He found a record from over 200 years ago. A warning from the old Alliance. A word once whispered only in fear. Deathworlders. Back on Titanfall, the crew read the old data too. "Seems they still remember us," said Rhea with a half smile. "Even after all this time, fear is a powerful memory," said the AI. Rhea nodded. "Let's show them what humanity really is." She gave the command, and the ship moved closer to the dying planet, not with guns raised, but with aid pods, climate stabilizers, and field hospitals. But the Lyrox didn't know that yet. All they saw was a massive, dangerous ship arriving in silence just after they sent their call for help. The galaxy had long forgotten Earth, but Earth had not forgotten the galaxy. And now, the Deathworlders had returned. The skies over Velmari, homeworld of the Lyrox people, darkened not from the dying sun but from the giant shadow of the approaching ship. Every citizen looked up in fear. The ship was like nothing they had ever seen before. It didn't shine. It didn't flash with colors like friendly trade ships. Instead, it moved slow and silent, like a beast waking from a long sleep. Its black surface absorbed all light. Strange glowing lines pulsed like veins across its armored hull. The name Titanfall was marked on its side in sharp silver letters. It made no sound, but it felt like thunder. In the Lyrox high tower, Prime Speaker Varnal stood frozen. "This can't be true," he whispered. "That ship is human, but humans vanished long ago," said Scholar Veltri, his voice shaking. "Our history says they closed their borders and disappeared from galactic space. Then why are they here now?" asked VA or Andy L. No one had an answer. Meanwhile, inside Titanfall, the bridge was alive with comm movement. Captain Rhea Morgan stood in front of the giant screen, watching the planet spin slowly below. Behind her, human officers worked quietly at their stations. "Status?" she asked. "Planetary scans complete," said the AI. "Commandos. Star collapse confirmed. Population 3.7 billion. Medical systems failing. Atmosphere losing stability. No enemy ships detected. Prepare A-teams," Rhea ordered. "Deploy supply modules and medical drones." The AI paused. "Lyrox military ships are moving into position. They have raised shields and armed their cannons," Rhea sighed. "They think we're here to fight. Shall I prepare countermeasures?" The AI asked. "No," she said firmly. "We came to help. Let's show them what we mean." From the surface, the Lyrox military watched closely as Titanfall released dozens of smaller ships. But they weren't war machines. Instead, they looked like floating buildings, each carrying food, water, and medical equipment, some open in the air, releasing drones that flew gently into the cities. Still, the Lyrox commanders stayed alert. "They're using drones to map our cities," said General Yaren. "This is the first step before invasion." Prime Speaker Varnal looked uncertain. "But no weapons have been fired, and some drones are helping injured civilians." "It's a trick," the general warned. "Humans are dangerous. Their world is labeled a death world for a reason, but far away from politics." In a poor Lyrox village, something strange happened. A group of human drones landed softly. A hologram appeared, an image of a calm human woman speaking gently in Lyrox language. "We are from Earth. You called for help. We are here to assist." The villagers stepped back at first. Then one brave mother brought her sick child forward. The drone scanned the child and released a glowing mist. The child began to breathe better. More villagers came. Soon, the drones were setting up tents, giving clean water, and treating wounds. A quiet cheer broke out, and in the shadows, Scholar Veltri watched everything unfold. He had sneaked away from the capital to see for himself. They're not killing us," he whispered. "They're saving us." Back in the capital, the Prime Speaker received dozens of reports. Human drones are helping in 10 cities. A young officer said, "Their 8 modules are creating climate bubbles to slow the sun's heat loss." No damage reported. Varnal sat down heavily. Why would Deathworlders help us? Veltri returned to the tower and spoke loudly. Because they remember what it's like to be alone. Everyone turned to him. "I saw them. The humans didn't attack. They gave medicine, food, shelter. They came when no one else did." General Yern was silent now. Even he had seen the same reports. The Prime Speaker finally said, "Then perhaps the stories were wrong. Perhaps we misunderstood humanity." Back aboard Titanfall, Captain Rhea looked at the data with a quiet smile. "No missiles fired, no walls raised, and no one ran away," she said. "The Lyrox are still afraid," the AI replied. "But fear is fading." "That's good," she said. "Humanity has changed. We may be from a death world, but we didn't come to bring death." Outside the ship, Earth's banner was displayed on the surface of one of the 8 pods, a white flag with a blue planet at its center. Below it, in Lyrox script, were the words, "We heard you." The message spread fast across the Lyrox networks. For the first time since the SOS was sent, hope returned to the people of Velmari. But just beyond the edge of the system, something else had heard the call too, something that did not come to help. The massive human ship Titanfall floated quietly above the planet Velmari. Its shape still brought fear to many Lyrox minds, but the fear was now mixed with confusion. Everywhere the human drones went, they brought help. In cities, towns, and even deep jungle villages, Lyrox citizens watched as the machines delivered food, medicine, and clean water. Climate shields slowed the effects of the collapsing sun. Portable field hospitals appeared overnight. And not a single weapon was fired still. The old stories were hard to forget. The Lyrox had heard tales of Earth since childhood, tales of wild storms, burning deserts, and ice-covered oceans. The planet was called a death world because it was too dangerous for most life. Humans were said to be violent survivors, shaped by endless struggle. Even their laughter, it was said, sounded like a challenge. Now these same humans were here, healing instead of hurting. On the edge of a city named Tharlan, young scholar Veltri walked beside a human engineer named Sam Carter. Sam was tall, with dark hair and a friendly smile. He showed Veltri how the machines worked. They were fixing a broken water plant that had been abandoned for years. "You fixed this so fast," Veltri said, surprised. "We thought only Lyrox tech could run this system." Sam laughed. "Clean water's clean water, friend. Doesn't matter what planet it's on." Veltri looked at the man. "Why are you really here?" Everyone thought humans had forgotten the galaxy. Sam's smile faded slightly. He looked up at the sky. "We didn't forget. We watched. We waited. But when we needed help, no one came. So we decided we'd never ignore a call. Even if the galaxy forgot us." Veltri felt silent. Respect grew inside him. Back at the capital, Prime Speaker Varnal called an emergency council. "We must decide what to do," he said. "Do we accept full human help, or ask them to leave?" The room was tense. Some counselors still feared the Deathworlders. Others had families being treated in human-built hospitals. Before anyone could speak, alarms blared. An officer rushed in, eyes wide. Unidentified ships entering orbit. No transponder codes. High-energy weapons detected. The council room froze. "They're not human," said the officer. "There's something else, above Velmari, near the system's edge." Black and silver ships warped into view. Their design was sharp and aggressive, like claws flying through space. Their engines left trails of purple fire. They were the Ravagers, a ruthless group of raiders that moved from system to system, taking what they wanted and destroying what remained. They had followed the same SOS signal, but unlike the humans, they didn't come to help. The lead Ravager ship broadcast a message to the Lyrox system. "This world is weak. Its sun is dying. Surrender now, or be turned to dust." Panic spread across the planet. The Lyrox defense forces moved into position, but they were small, outdated, and low on power due to the dying sun. They were no match for the Ravagers. Inside Titanfall, Captain Rhea Morgan stood still as the Ravager message played. "They're here for easy prey," said her second officer, Lieutenant Zhao. "Then they chose the wrong system," Rhea replied. The AI spoke up. "Lyrox forces are preparing for defense, but success is unlikely. Shall we engage?" Rhea looked out at the stars. Her voice was calm, but firm. "Deploy full defense systems. Power the rail cannons. Charge gravity drives. Let's remind the galaxy why they once feared Earth." On the surface, Veltri ran through the streets of Tharlan. The sky above had turned dark again, but this time not from Titanfall's shadow. The Ravager ships had begun their descent. Then, suddenly, everything stopped. A sound like thunder echoed across the land. People looked up. Titanfall was moving. Slowly but powerfully, the ship adjusted its position. Giant panels opened along its sides, revealing massive cannons and strange glowing weapons. From the ship's front, a new message was sent, not just to the Lyrox, but to the Ravagers and anyone else listening. "This is Earth's ship Titanfall. This system sent a call for help. Your threats end now, without warning." Beams of pure light fired from Titanfall, striking to Ravager ships in orbit. They exploded before they could respond. The Ravagers turned to flee, but Titanfall was already on the move. In seconds, the Deathworlders ship became a blur of motion, unleashing weapons no one had seen before. gravity bursts, EMP waves, invisible. Drones. Within minutes, the Ravager fleet was destroyed. Not a single human was harmed. The Lyrox watched in awe. From the villages to the council tower, every eye was on the sky. The humans had not come to destroy, but they could, if needed. Veltri stood on a rooftop, wind in his fur, eyes wide with wonder. "We thought they were monsters," he whispered, "but they're our shield." The battle was over in minutes. The Ravager ships lay broken in the cold space near Velmari. The great Titanfall floated silently, its weapons powered down. But the danger was not gone. Captain Rhea Morgan stood at the bridge, her eyes scanning the stars. The calm was strange after such sudden violence. "Commander Zhao," she said, "any more contacts?" "Anything else heading this way?" Lieutenant Zhao's fingers flew over his controls, scanning. "Yes." "Ma'am, multiple unknown ships, larger than the Ravagers, approaching fast. Unknown." Rhea asked. Double quotes. "Yes." No identification, no signals. But their energy signatures. They match no known species in the galaxy. Rhea's jaw tightened. "Alert the Lyrox. Prepare for defense on Velmari." Prime Speaker Varnal received the news with a growing sense of dread. "We defeated the Ravagers," he said, "but something worse is coming." Scholar Veltri stepped forward. "The Ravagers were just raiders. These new ships, they are something else, something ancient and powerful." Outside the planet's atmosphere, dark shapes appeared. They were enormous, like floating fortresses wrapped in black energy. Their weapons glowed with a sickly green light. These ships were not just war machines, they were destruction incarnate. The Lyrox called them the Harbingers. Captain Rhea turned to Command OS. "Prepare all systems. Full shields, ready the fighters and defense drones." The AI responded instantly, acknowledged. "Charging energy barriers, powering up rail cannons, and plasma turrets, activating stealth countermeasures." "Good," Rhea said. "This fight will decide more than one world." The Harbingers began their attack without warning. Green beams cut through the black sky, striking down Lyrox defense satellites and burning city outskirts. The Lyrox fought bravely, but their weapons barely made a scratch on the enemy ships. Armor. Then, Titanfall moved forward. Its engines flared red and white, filling the sky with power. The humans unleashed new weapons never seen before. Gravity waves pushed the enemy ships away. Plasma beams burned through their hulls. Shielded drones darted around, disabling enemy weapons. The Harbingers fired back with deadly accuracy, but the humans were faster, stronger, and smarter. On the ground, Veltri watched from a high tower. As the sky burned, "Why did the galaxy abandon us?" he asked aloud. "Why were we left to die alone?" Nearby, a young Lyrox mother held her children close. The children had been saved by human medics. "They are our hope now," she said quietly. Veltri nodded. "Yes, humanity is no longer the myth of monsters. They are our guardians." The battle raged for hours. Titanfall's weapons began to wear down, but the humans never gave up. Captain Rhea's voice was calm but fierce. "Hold the line. Protect the Lyrox. We are Earth's shield. We do not break." One by one, the Harbinger ships fell. Finally, the last enemy ship exploded in a brilliant flash. Silence returned. The Lyrox cheered. They had survived, and they owed their lives to the Deathworlders, the humans who once were feared but now were heroes. Prime Speaker Varnal turned to Rhea through the open communication channel. "Captain Morgan, you have saved our people. The Lyrox offer you friendship and alliance." Rhea smiled. "Earth never forgets its debts. We stand with you now and always." As the sun flickered weakly, the Lyrox and humans worked together to rebuild. The galaxy was watching, and everywhere, whispered voices spoke of the return of humanity. No longer hidden, no longer alone. The Deathworlders had come back. The battle was over. The Lyrox world of Velmari was safe again. But the galaxy was no longer the same. Captain Rhea Morgan stood on the bridge of the great warship Titanfall. The ship's powerful engines hummed softly as it floated above the planet. Rhea looked out at the planet below. The cities still bore scars from the attacks, But new human-built structures and machines were already working hard to repair the damage. "We did it," said Lieutenant Zhao, standing beside her. "Yes," Rhea replied. "But this is only the beginning." News of the humans' return spread quickly through the galaxy. The secret of the Deathworlders was no longer secret. The ancient stories were true, but they told only part of the tale. The galaxy remembered humans as wild and dangerous. But now, those stories had to change. From the icy moons of the Krender system to the bustling trade stations of the Zalari Belt, alien races whispered in surprise and awe. "They saved a dying world," said one merchant. "They fought like gods," said a soldier. "They came when no one else would," said an elder. On Velmari, Prime Speaker Varnal held a ceremony. "In honor of the humans, we once feared the Deathworlders," he said. "But today, we see their true strength, not in weapons alone, but in courage, honor, and heart." Captain Rhea stood beside him, surrounded by Lyrok's leaders and citizens. "We did what any species should do," she said simply. "Help a friend in need." The crowd cheered. Back on Titanfall, Rhea and her crew prepared for the next mission. Humanity had stayed silent for centuries, but now the galaxy needed them. "Captain," said Commander Silva, "distress signals are coming from other systems, ships trapped by pirates, colonies under threat, worlds slowly dying." Rhea nodded. "Then we answer. We will be the shield for those who cannot protect themselves." The crew cheered quietly. As Titanfall launched into the stars, a new hope filled the hearts of many. Humanity was no longer the forgotten Deathworlders. They were guardians of the galaxy. And wherever darkness rose, the light of Titanfall would follow.